I'm broke, so I'm bougie when I'm popping. I've been working, stock went up, check my price, then I text my education. Like my fashion gonna cost a couple racks. I don't need a sugar daddy, they call me when they eat stacks. See, I went to USC and got my college degree. That mean I'm smarter than these niggas, can't get over on me. And then I went down to Miami, saw some new property. Put a down payment on condo with a view of South Beach. Man, the devil try to break me, the devil try to play me. I could've got here quicker if I let the devil swim me. But my prayers went up and my blessings came down. Thanking God every day.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kaj, and I'm coming to y'all back with another freaking video. Y'all already know what time it is. Like, comment, and subscribe. And tell your friends to start watching me like I'm lit. Am I not? Let me know. Anyways, today I decided to talk about my PCOS story since it is September, and September is PCOS Awareness Month. So I'm like, why not? Because a lot of people don't know what PCOS is, and honestly, a lot of doctors don't know what it is, which shocks me all the time, but let's not get into that. So, I've been had PCOS. I had it, I think, since I was in like 7th grade, but I got diagnosed with it from a doctor in 2017, around the time that I graduated high school. So basically, I've been knew that it was something wrong with me. I always knew it was something wrong with me. But they were like, the doctors, they would just, you know, do the bare minimum and stuff. And my OBGYN, she just always had me on birth control because I didn't have a normal period. So she would always have me on birth control and stuff. And basically, long story short, once I found out that I was really diagnosed with PCOS, I stopped taking birth control. Because honestly, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. So if they tell you it helps, it doesn't. But PCOS is a hormonal imbalance, and it just like, it messes with your whole body. Like, it has way more to do with just like your ovaries. A lot of people think that, like, oh, since I have PCOS, that it's just based on my ovaries and everything else, and it's not. Like, just because it's called Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, that don't mean it's just based on that. Like, it messes with this, all this right here. See this? All this. Right here. So when I wasn't diagnosed, I was taking a bunch of different birth controls. Like, she would always switch up my birth controls because it would always be something wrong with like the medicine, or like it would not do its job and everything. But I was on birth control to regulate my period, and it did work for the period part, but it didn't fix no other problems. So once I got diagnosed with Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, that's when I started doing my research, because it just didn't make sense to me. Like, around this time, I couldn't lose weight, I couldn't do nothing, and that's a part of PCOS too. Like, you're not able to lose weight, you're depressed, memory loss, mood swings, your health period. Like, if it's left untreated, you can get cancer. You're high risk for diabetes, high risk for heart attacks, infertility, hair loss. I don't know if I said hair loss or not. It's just the worst. Like, it's a disease that really takes over your whole. I keep saying like that and showing my boobs. It's a disease that really takes over like your whole body, and if it's not treated correctly, it can lead into other problems and everything else. The symptoms that I was having, like, I was always depressed. I barely get my period. Like, right now, I haven't got my period, I think, in like 2 months now. I do have hair loss. Like, I bet you once I take these braids out, like, I'm gonna have a whole ball of hair in my hand once that's done, because my hair falls out. I lost my appetite. I'm dumb skinny now. When I first found out I was diagnosed with PCOS, I weighed 165 pounds. Right now, I only weigh 148 pounds, because I had just went to the doctors. So I only weigh 148 pounds, which is, I guess that's not bad, but that's not my normal. It's not my normal weight. Basically, when I found out, it just was like, I kind of was mad because the OBGYN I was going to, she never told me nothing about it. And my doctor, my primary caretaker, he was like, well, sometimes OBGYNs don't know and everything else. But I'm like, but isn't that their job to find stuff out like that? Like, instead, she just kept trying to put me on birth control instead of figuring out what the real problem was. So I ended up changing her, and I started going to a different OBGYN. But this OBGYN, she wasn't no help either. So it just was like, I feel like I'm kind of on my own. Like, they really had me on all these different medications. When it first started off, they had me on metformin. I got the bottles right. They had me on metformin HCl, the 500 milligrams, and they look like, I'm gonna show you what they look like. They look like these. I'm cracking up. Can y'all see that? Anyways, they these little white things. My grandma take the same ones, and she be like, why are you taking metformin and I take metformin? My grandma got diabetes. So yeah, metformin is for PCOS too, and people with diabetes take these. But these ones, the 500 milligrams, they didn't do nothing for me. And basically, I feel like I was taking them for no reason. Like, when I started taking them, I went to an endocrinologist. My endocrinologist, she gave me a list of things. Like, she gave me these to take. And when I went back, it showed that these didn't do nothing. So basically, I was taking these for no reason because it doesn't do nothing for me. And was it these when I first started taking? Okay, yeah, so I had to take these twice a day, and when I first started taking these, when I took the second dosage, I would always feel nauseous and everything. I used to throw up at work. Like, everything used to make me sick. It felt like you had pregnancy symptoms, and that's the worst when you're not pregnant. They also had me on vitamin D. These both are my vitamin D containers. My vitamin D levels were like, they weren't normal. So I had to start taking vitamin D. I think it was like every week. You take one capsule every week. And when I went to the doctors, these helped. The vitamin D helped. Like, my vitamin D levels were now back to normal and everything else. So once we figured out that metformin didn't work, she actually put me on metformin HCl ER 750 milligrams tablet, and I would take this big old pill once every night. Can y'all see that? It's like a little pink color pill, and it's dumb big, and I take it every night. But that didn't really help either, because like, all that did was like, well, it kind of did help. It helped me lose weight. My appetite still wasn't there. My mood still was crappy and everything else. This just helped with, for real, it just helped me with weight loss. Other than that, it gave me real bad complications. Like, when I used to take these, I wasn't able to lay on my stomach afterwards because my stomach would be cramping up too bad. I didn't have no period. Like, metformin for me is supposed to regulate my period. So instead of me taking birth control to regulate my period, I was taking metformin, and it just wasn't regulating it. And then, like, because of PCOS, my pH levels are like all over the place. Like, anything can knock my pH off. So she started having me take vitamins. But I don't think they really do anything. And I got the two nasty kind left, the purple, because they nasty. But they just the little Flintstone vitamins. Yeah. And I'm not eating them because they nasty. So yeah, that's basically all the medicine that I was taking and stuff. And honestly, since I've been diagnosed with it, I say that none of the medicines actually helped but the vitamin D. Because that's the only one that actually shows improvement. Like, my testosterone is still high. My testosterone level, I think, is at, I think it was at a 91. And I'm a girl. My testosterone level not supposed to be all the way up there. But what can I do? And then I just be, with PCOS, you will find yourself struggling because a lot of doctors don't know what it is. So it's kind of on you to do your research and to basically choose what route that you want to go. Like, right now, I stopped taking all my medicine because I feel like I want to go the natural route. Like, I have an endocrinology appointment coming up in October, and I plan on telling her, like, yeah, girl, I want to go the natural route. I want to do vitamins and supplements. I don't want to take any more pills because with pills, for me, I've been taking pills since 7th grade, and it hasn't did anything but fix it. It don't fix it in the long term. It just fix it, like, right then and there. Like, it don't help in the long run. But PCOS is just all over the place. And then with me, I have a fear that I can't even get pregnant. Like, no, I don't want to get pregnant right now. For all my family members that's watching, thank you. I don't want to get pregnant right now. For y'all text my phone after this video, go up, start trying to curse me out and everything else. No. It's just the fact that, like, I do have that scare, like, because it was a lot of times where it just was like, it should have happened, but it didn't. So it's just like, maybe I can't get pregnant. And yeah, that's a hurt piece. I will say it is. But it's like, I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to think about it because I really hope and pray to God that I can have my own kids. Like, I don't want nobody carrying my kids. I don't want to adopt no kid. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have my own child. I want to carry my own child in my own belly, okay? Well, back to my side effects. I got everything written down in my little book. So, the side effects I've been having since 2018, no period since my new dosage of metformin, but I stopped taking my metformin, so I still have no period. I do be having acne. Like, my face is prone to break out from anything, but, you know, I have sensitive skin too, so I don't really look at that as, like, a PCOS problem, for real. Mood swings. If anybody knows me, they know that I got crazy, hella mood swings. My appetite, I don't really be having one, but I do force myself to eat because your girl needs to eat, and I don't think I should go without eating and everything. I don't know. It's just a lot. Like, I used to force myself to eat just so I could take my medicine, but it's just like, I really just need to start eating. Like, I don't know. I do have excessive hair growth, which is one of the symptoms. I tend to get hair in places I don't want her, like my neck, my chest, and my chin. But that ain't nothing that a little bit of tweezers can't pull out, you feel me? Oh, I do have stomach cramps, but, like, you will tend to have cramps when you have PCOS. You will have cramps regardless, like, sometimes regardless, because of, like, the cysts in your ovaries and everything else. And that's another thing. With PCOS, you don't necessarily have to have cysts in your ovaries to be diagnosed with PCOS. But with me, I am one of them people that has cysts in my ovaries. Like, my cysts look like a pearl necklace. Like, you see how these look? This is how big my cyst is. And imagine all these, like, imagine a bunch of these on a string in your ovaries. Like, that's how my ovaries look. And I do, one of the symptoms is a lack of sex drive, and I do tend to have that sometimes. Like, I don't know, like, it's just crazy. Like, with PCOS, you have to pay attention to the symptoms. Like, you can't look over and be like, oh, that's just because this how I feel this day, or this how I feel that day. Like, no, it really be the symptoms. And I had to learn that, like, you really got to pay attention to it. When I first got diagnosed, I was on some other medication too, but I had to stop taking it because I stopped taking birth control. And basically, if I would have got pregnant on that other medication, like, say I would have got pregnant and I would have had a son, then I would have had complications with my birth, and, like, or it would have been something wrong with my son, basically. So I had to stop taking that medicine once I got off birth control. And I don't think that medicine helped either, because nothing, like I said, my results were the same. Like, my results barely changed. Only, like, 2 things in my results really changed. My fault. Somebody called my phone. A lot of people don't know what it is, but it definitely is common. I bet you, like, if you watch this video and somebody get tested, out of all them people that get tested after watching this video, it's going to be somebody that has PCOS too. Like, because PCOS is common in 1 out of 10 women. And it's just like, people be having it and don't be knowing that they be having it. And with me, when people tell me they symptoms and stuff, I be like, well, maybe you got PCOS. Like, go to the doctor, see if you got PCOS, because that's what I had. Like, that was my problem. That was my situation. So it's like, now I just do what I do. I started taking, like, I take supplements and vitamins, but, like, I'm waiting to go to my endocrinologist for her to tell me, like, which supplements I should really take and which vitamins I should take. Like, I actually wrote it down, the stuff that I wanted to take, because I do my research, and I seen that, like, other people with PCOS take it and it helps them, but it's like, everybody PCOS is different. So I heard about milk thistle. I heard that it's good for PCOS too. It detoxifies your liver and clears your skin, flushes away byproducts of testosterone. So I guess it lower your testosterone and everything, and basically it keeps everything good for you. I do want to try myoinsitol. I think that's what it's called. Now that's like metformin, but more so focused on the PCOS aspect of it, because metformin is more so focused. I feel like metformin is more so focused on diabetes. So a myoinsitol, I heard that, like, that's like the healthy route to go when you don't want to take medication or, like, pills, and you just want to take, like, supplements and, you know, like, powder and everything. So I heard that was good to take. It helps lower your testosterone and insulin resistance. That's another thing with PCOS, is insulin resistance. With PCOS, you cannot break down fat. Some people cannot break down fat. I am one of the people that cannot break down fat. So, like, I could eat a strawberry, and basically the sugars in the strawberry, the sugars in the strawberry would just sit there, and it would just turn into fat, and it would just, like, stay there. Like, I wouldn't be able to burn it off or anything. What is this? I think it's called maca powder. Maca? Am I saying that right? I don't know. That helps for, like, hormone imbalance. I think that's part of the reason why I struggle with infertility issues right now, because of my hormone imbalance. That is the main problem for me. Basically everything that people talk about with PCOS, that's me, except for the part where I'm not overweight anymore. I'm actually at a normal weight. I'm not overweight anymore. When I was 165 pounds, they would say that I was overweight, so that was a problem too. And then I had cysts in my ovaries. And it's not like how some people just have, like, one cyst in their ovaries. I literally have multiple cysts in my ovaries, and I do feel them sometimes. Like, I do feel that pain. I do sit there and endure that pain. And because I don't take pills and stuff, I go through the pain naturally. I don't tend to take anything for the pain, because I really be on some type of time where it's like, I'm really trying to stop taking pills. I'm trying to be more so, like, vitamins and supplements and, like, herbs and everything else. I don't want to go to the pill route. They say apple cider vinegar, but, like, I don't know. Apple cider vinegar is so nasty. I just can't. So that's just stuff I wrote down. Like, when you have PCOS, you should have a notebook, and this notebook is full of my doctor's appointments, my period, my medications, anytime I go to the ER because of my PCOS. It's just basically filled with a lot of my information that you would sometimes forget. Like, you see how I'm just like, I keep trying to think off the top of my head, but it's just like, with PCOS, it's a lot of stuff to remember, and you won't technically always remember it, so it's good to write down. Like, the last time I went to the ER for my PCOS was, this is it right here, the last time I went to PCOS was July 25th. I went there July 25th, and that's when I decided to stop taking the 750 milligram tablet of the metformin because it wasn't doing nothing, and it ended up having me go to the ER because I just was having so many complications, and that puts me on to go to saying that if you don't like what one doctor say, go to another one. Go to another one. If you don't want to do it the way that doctor say, go to another one. Like, you do not have, when you have PCOS, you should not settle. You do not have to settle because at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your health. It's what you want to do. So with my endocrinologist, I am changing her. Like, after my next appointment, I am deciding on changing her because when I had went July 25th and I had called her before I went to the ER to tell her what was happening so she could, like, you know what I mean? She told me to go to the ER. I went to the ER. And basically when I went to the ER, they were doing tests and everything else. And then she called me and she was like, well, since the 750 milligrams are not working, we should put you back on 500 milligrams. Now, with me, I'm like, when I was taking the 500 milligrams last time, it didn't work. It didn't do anything. So now you're telling me to go back on a pill for no reason that doesn't do nothing for me. And that's my point. Like, that's my point in saying that if you don't like what one doctor say, go to another one. You do not have to settle. You don't have to do none of that. So that's why I just decided, like, well, since she obviously is like, this is like a guessing game for her, I'm not taking no medicine. I don't want to take no medicine till I go back to the doctors. We do these tests again, and we're going to start from a clean slate. But this time it's going to be natural. It's going to be supplements. It's going to be herbs. It's going to be vitamins. Like, I'm tired of taking these pills, and these pills are not doing nothing for me. And then I just be having so many side effects when it's just like, my body, I don't want to put my body through that no more. Like, my body is so freaking weak. Like, when I take these medications, I'm literally a different person. Like, I be feeling so weak and so drained and so tired, adding on to the symptoms from the PCOS. So add on the PCOS symptoms, the medication symptoms, depression symptoms. You let me know. That's too much. Like, it's just too much on my body, and it's too much for anybody to take. And honestly, I wish I could explain PCOS better, but in all reality, I really can't because it wasn't explained to me for real. It's just more so research. So I go off of research. Like, I go off of what I research and what applies to me, and that's what applies to me. This is how I deal with my PCOS, and I am going to have further videos going into, like, my my new natural journey when I started and everything else. But right now, I'm not on anything, and I do see the symptoms. I do have my hair, like, the excessive hair growth. That's annoying. That happens all the time. I try to get waxed because I be tired of shaving. And PCOS is literally expensive. Like, having PCOS, you go broke having it because you want to do it the natural way. And then when you do it the natural way, it's more money because it's better to do it the natural way, honestly. Like, I seen people talk about PCOS and they said that they found better solutions through the natural route instead of being on all these medications. So I plan on going that route because I don't want to be on all these medications for the rest of my life. I don't want to be thinking like I can't have kids for the rest of my life. Like, I want to see what I could do now to help and to change everything, because I don't plan on having PCOS all my life. Like, no, it's no cure for PCOS, but it's no cure for PCOS, but it is times where people don't have it after a while. And it's like, I seen it a lot with people that do the natural route, that they don't have it after a while, or like, even if they do have it, they still are able to have kids, and they don't have as much complications as they would normally have doing it this route with prescribed medications. I was like, with me, it's just a lot, because it's just like, it's so much fear in it all. Like, I second guess, and I just be like, but what if I do the natural route and then I end up like, you know, it end up not working for me, and I end up being prone to this or diagnosed with this, like, then what? Like, so it is like, it is a tricky thing, but it's more so what you want to do and how you want to handle it, because nobody really knows about PCOS. Doctors are still getting educated on it, for real. So it's more so just a learning process. You just research. It's more so a disease that you research, you find out yourself, you see what applies to you, and you go that route. You can try any route that you want to try. For you, just find what works for you, and that's literally what I'm doing right now. Like, I know I've been had it, but me being diagnosed with it, like the confirmation and everything, it changed everything for me. Like, I don't know, like, it just made me think of things differently. It made me look at things differently. Like, I work out more, I drink green tea, I do try to like eat better and everything. I do eat better, and I am trying to eat more. It's just like, PCOS is just an ongoing fight that you just have to deal with. Like, you can't give up. You just have to just keep going. You have to just be positive, because if you don't be positive, that will really affect the whole thing. And it's like, having a hormone imbalance is horrible, period, because it's just like, you just be all over the place with your feelings, your symptoms. It just be the most, and it's something that I wouldn't want anybody that I know to go through. Like, no, it's not as bad as certain things, but it's like, it's something that it's something that you don't want to endure or encounter sometimes, because it is a hurt piece for some people, especially with people that finds out like they end up getting diabetes from it, or that they can't have kids and everything else. Like, it's really bad, but I am going to keep making videos about my PCOS, because I find that a lot of people are not educated on it. A lot of people don't know what it is. I get so upset when it comes to my health, because like, when I actually go to a doctor to look for answers, it's just, I find myself coming out with I find myself coming out with the same knowledge that I walked in with. And that kind of upsets me, because it just be like, how are you supposed to help me if you don't know either? And sometimes I do find myself knowing more than the doctor. So, like I said, if you do have PCOS, you do not have to settle. If you don't like what one doctor say, go to another one. If you think one doctor doesn't know what they're doing, go to another one. If you think your OBGYN don't know what she's doing, go to another one. If you think endocrinologist just putting you on any kind of medicine and don't really care about your well-being, go to another one. And that's all I can say. But that's it for today, you guys. I love y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be hitting y'all back with another video. Stay tuned.